Greetings, greetings, greetings. You are now tuned into the Vault. Trust Christian, own nothing, control everything. Just want to thank you for tuning in live or listening to replay. Really thankful for everyone that always listens and the live listens, catches this pop up in particular or in the replay. So this is the Vault episode 200 Industrial Revolution 4.0. Definitely want to talk about a very important topic that is in the public right now and that is taking place as we speak. And so definitely want to talk about that with the trading partner Cornell. Once again, this is episode 200 Industrial Revolution 2.0. Very important to post this particular episode because Cornell's already started venturing out and sharing the good word. We've always shared the good word and talked about these things. And so, the Vault wanted to just have another, public conversation about, what's really going on in the private as well as what's going on in the public and, sharing a state of opinion. It's not to be construed with any type of legal knowledge or financial knowledge, but this is where you see people coming in from a position saying this is where we are. Everyone has their position in the marketplace, and we're going to talk about different positions in the marketplace because there are positions that are being moved around right now. Whether it's a game of chess, whether it's a game of checkers, it matters not. So we have our trading partner Cornell. You there?
I'm in.
Alrighty, Cornell, we got you on the line, and just thankful that you came through once again. This is the Vault episode and 200 Industrial Revolution 4.0. What's the Industrial Revolution 4.0? When that strikes a bell in your head, when you hear that term, what does that mean to you?
About to be a reset.
Oh wow. You actually said that. So you feel like it's a reset. You went straight there. Whether the name of the episode wasn't the other one, but we could have just named it that. So if the Industrial Revolution 4.0 is that, what are some of the industries that are being affected as we speak?
The new it, and it's a verbatim game they doing. They're still going to get paid off the old generation stuff, the normal stuff, real estate, the brand name. But like you said, what's happening now? All this automation catching up with everybody. These companies starting to realize, like, oh, we could operate from the house. Oh, we could just go ahead and spend the money and get this, like you said, autom- self-driving car, this self-driving machine at the plant to make the cars. Like,
Oh, everything's automated then.
hey, people finna lose jobs. So, like that, industrial revolution, the stuff that y'all was supporting, now you see in times of pandemics and protests that make a 360 turn to the market, it's gonna affect you in the long run. Because, like you said, you going off all the new industry. You enjoying it. You loving it. But not realizing the back end of it. So who protecting their family? Who protecting their own money?
The businesses.
That's Elon Musk money. He come out with these cars that ain't no benefit to you. They look neat, look nice. But now when something going on, who's gonna be affected by it? The people that's working.
Right. And we talked about this for years about the middle class leaving. We've almost seen the middle class P essentially wiped out in this industrial revolution. This was a foresight for the future of how business is to be done. This is a glimpse in the future. This is a picture that says we are going to look into the future here
The
and
numbers there. They already
yeah.
there. Go look at the numbers from all this going on with the virus. They said them unemployment numbers, close to 40% were blacks that make under 40,000. And I was explaining earlier, I had made a video put up to be the reason they saying it, y'all don't understand. A lot of you guys ain't getting a high paying job. You are hired by the small businesses that the industrial revolution is eating up. it's not gonna open back up.
Right. So, do you think it was more of an attack on mom and pop?
It was an attack on mom and pops that wasn't set up.
Right.
Think about it. If you ain't got the educational background, you pretty much getting hired by a mom and pop shop a lot of times. Them are gonna be people that take a chance on you because of the education level or whatever. Them jobs going away because they didn't have their finances situated.
What do you think it is to be right now in an essential industry? When you hear essential industry, we hear these classifications that people are somehow short sighted and not looking into the depth of. But we can go to the
You
private
know what
side.
I think? You know what I think essential is? Your own business.
Uh, right. Good
That
point.
first of all, go look at the numbers. Why they keep hiring about essential? These people still laying people off in essential jobs. So how is it essential, Christian? You still having layoffs. You figured out, oh, since everybody working at the house, I don't need half of y'all. Y'all essential, but we still, oh, we see that, Christian, we don't have to operate at that building down there that we paying rent on no more. You know what? They just closed that whole city center down right there. That's gonna save us a couple hundred thousand, maybe a couple million every year on expenses. We just pay them from the house. Now we gain for our shareholders to get their dividends.
Do you think when we saw some of the big CEOs retire from some of the major companies recently within the past 6 months, do you think that was a foreshadowing of anything, or do you think that's just something to be left behind in the dust, nothing to pay attention to, and just continue moving, or do you think that was something that was a telltale sign, possibly of the major tech company or major company resignation, all at the same time? It wasn't too far off where you saw major CEOs stepping down, possibly taking profit and tucking tail.
A lot of them took profit and took tail because, like I said, they probably weren't even running the company right in the first place.
Wow.
And it was gonna get exposed out. So instead of losing all their money, they know they couldn't fix the issue because they weren't built to fix the issue. They got on out of there.
Right.
They, like I said, they tucking
Right.
and buying out quietly, but they got their money, so they don't care that you know they tucking out. I'm gonna get on up out of here, Christian, before this stock do go down 40 to 100 more dollars. And my retirement tied into the shares. I'm gonna cash mine out before everybody else's go down.
Well, let's talk about the actual day count, the dead cat bounce that just happened in the market or hasn't completely happened yet. We've only seen the beginning of, which it's almost like when you look at it, if you do a fibs on it, that means it's got to come back down again in order for it to go back up to where it could really say it's in a bull market. Would you agree, or do you think the market could just keep going up and it'll keep hitting all-time highs for the next months for the rest of the year because they just you
It'll
want to
make,
see artificial stimulus?
it'll make a range.
Right. Okay. So now you're saying it's going to range out at this previous high.
May go up a little bit higher, but it's gonna be in this range from like I said the 10,000 to I say the 93 to 9,200. It ain't going back. That's why he manipulated the numbers. He know he gonna get caught, but in reality, it's still gonna be up close to, like I said, close to the highs. It make him look good. Market still up.
Right. And this is the interesting part is
Only
people.
thing he need now that make him look good is a vaccine. He get a vaccine out of the U.S. and where the economy is right now, boom, they'll fall. He'll get all his right wing folks back over to him. Cause guess what? We got the vaccine. We still got the market up. We got the extra benefits you're giving us that don't nobody know about.
Right. Well, okay, so let's talk about the private side because the public side is almost dim and meek. What does the private side look like, Cornell, for trading, learning, and this in this industrial revolution 4.0? What are the
When you
skills to
look
have?
pennies on the dollar. But we educated on the private side. We know when to buy it, Christian. To buy them stocks, you, you this is where pandemics and protests and everything else get in the way of your thinking pattern because you bought them stocks 2, 3 months ago. Then guess what? Now you got to play around in the middle where they might take your money because you don't understand because you ain't educated. Now you mad that somebody could have gave you some stock tips, but you had the 50% line and they keep bouncing back and forth. When you should have been at the 0 to 25% level.
Right.
And it's cruising because guess what? Me as an investor, I know when it was gonna turn around, got the little double tap. That's the bottom. How many people know that? Now the rest of y'all gonna go online, y'all gonna see people talking about stocks. Now y'all gonna go buy stocks. That ain't how it works.
So many
Now you
people.
now you're gonna lose your money. Now you're gonna see all kind of new companies and new fads jumping up. Hey Christian man, this company called High Energy finna come out here do this, do that. It ain't but 30 cent. Yeah. Go over there, put you some money on it, man. It's finna go.
Right. They
That
get a
ain't,
lot of fools that
that,
way.
that ain't the type of investing we doing.
Nah. No.
Like we talking about the I invest in what I consider the middle and poor class essential products. Casinos, they fly. Auto industry, everybody working there. Hotels, you stay in them all the time because you spend money. They ain't going nowhere.
Right.
Cruises, that's the stuff you invest. You got to come with the common sense part of it. These people use the common sense. They don't care about no fad. You know why Warren Buffett don't like crypto? Because guess what? It ain't making him the money that he make by manipulating all this other stuff.
Right. He has manipulated a bunch of other stuff. So I think his skills are just better suited for those other things that he's doing at this time. You know, I don't think that he's staying within his secure comfort zone of different type of investments. And when you look at his investments, I'm definitely looking for this one.
And
Uh,
why at the end of the year, you're gonna see a big article on Buffett. That cash he pulled out. They're gonna be talking about how many billions of dollars he made at the end of the year. Watch. That's what the private doing. Guess what? Real estate foreclosures on hold right now. Y'all don't even, everybody think everything going good. Y'all don't even understand. This stuff on hold right now. They lay y'all slide right now. But guess what? It ain't gonna be on hold forever, Chris.
it's definitely not.
Now guess what? Now guess what? That $300,000 house you want might be 120, 110. That's what a smart
So you think
private.
it's going? That's where we are with it with the fire sale status. We're
Yeah,
at this point where it's fire sale status that's going to be happening, and no one wants to hear fire sale. Fire sale can seem very extreme. You know, people are living the cozy, live behind the Zoom camera status right now. Oh, we're having Zoom parties. We're living the Zoom lifestyle. But you know, as this
we keep talking all day.
yeah, yeah, or anything that's social, people are looking to stay socially engaged. But the Industrial Revolution involves that. It involves VR, virtual reality. It involves what people call the digital experience. Now they're having virtual experiences and digital experiences. That's a new term that we are experiencing now, where people are saying, look, no worries, you can hold your prom at the house. Like literally, they're promoting in the public Industrial Revolution 4.0 sounds like that. They are having proms and a digital experience. How do you dance through the computer, Cornell? How do you have a prom through the computer? They're
It's
having
everybody on, everybody loves social media. So they go from TikTok to somebody do this, somebody we following fads. Like that stuff ain't making me no money. I can understand doing the prom at the house because your kids been stuck in the house, but a lot of people do it for attention.
And this is where the Industrial Revolution 4.0 comes in. Why? Because there are people actually making money online by literally getting attention. People that are into fetishes, all types of wild stuff on the internet. So people are playing video games, making money over the internet, and people are watching them. So people are paying to see someone else play video games through
Yep,
Twitch.
a lot of
So
that. You know,
there's a market out there for the 4.0 person. We're past 2.0. People think, oh, when did we get past 3.0? We've been past 3.0. 3.0 was digital imaging through 3D imaging, where they can literally make an image in front of you through a 3D device. A device that can create a 3D image right there in front of you. That's where we are, ladies and gentlemen. They're going to make machines to do human work. And that's pretty evident. When we talk about drones, they're looking to have robots interact with humans. And so Industrial Revolution 4.0 looks like by 2025, where are the jobs? Right now, they're closing hundreds of stores. Companies have been filing bankruptcy for the past 10 to 20 years. Major stores. Why? Because internet's been beating them up every year. No one wants to talk about it, but Amazon has been beating them up every year. Amazon said we're going to get strategically positioned. We're only going to be on the internet, where everyone else is walking around and say, hey, we're going to have box stores. Amazon pivoted. They said, you know what? We're going to do an M&A move. We're going to do any classic monopoly M&A move. We're going to buy a grocer that already has product. We're gonna create end caps in their store. We're gonna create lockers. We're gonna partner now with an app that goes in and gives people delivery service from the grocery store to the house. We're prepared and strategically positioned for any type of people can't come out and shop at our grocery stores now. Not only that, we can sell anything in the stores because all the stores are warehouses. Everything's a glorified warehouse. Walmart's a glorified warehouse. Whole Foods all grocery stores traditionally glorified warehouses. They're just warehouses. They don't keep a lot of inventory. So recently we saw actually disruptions in a supply chain uh, mechanisms that they have going on nowadays, Cornell, when they're talking about supply chain distribution has been changed because of the people either being healthy to go out or the people demanding less resource because they're not in and they're not out and they're not working as much. So the restaurant industry has changed. The traditional small consumer business has changed. The ones that are selling knickknacks. Why? They may open back up. They're going to put shields back up in front of people. They don't have an internal delivery system. Amazon has that with Whole Foods. They can deliver the food through also other third party delivery services. So they allow other third party delivery services to come into the service, get the food that's in the store, and literally go out. And there's still fees attached for people coming in the store and purchasing the food. This is called Industrial Revolution 4.0 because that's what's going on in front of your eyes. That's what's going on. There's no way around it. Some people don't want to believe it. They don't understand it. They don't understand that. They don't want to believe that automated vehicles will replace an industry, a generation of people. People lived off of taxi services, and now they're living off Uber and the other ones, Lyft. But what happens when those goes away? What happens when there's a bigger company? What happens when there's more competition? See, people always try to knock competition in the 4.0 phase. Oh, there's no competition in the marketplace. The only place I can Google is Google. That's what they saying nowadays, Cornell. The only place I can Google is Google. There's other places like DuckDuckGo. There's other places. People say because the incognito, that's still Google. Okay. So right now we see a transition, I guess, of people that want to actually transition on the internet and how their search habits are and how they can, utilize the net and not to be tied into one website. A lot of people don't want to be tied into one website, Cornell, for their searches. A lot of people don't want to be searchable. They want to be non-searchable. Or they want to be searchable because they want attention, like you say. But when we say searchable, ladies and gentlemen, we're talking about in an industrial revolution 2.0, are you searchable for business skills in this environment? Do you have essential skills or do you have non-essential skills? And we talked about this for a long time at the vault, because Cornell would always say trading is a skill. How is trading a skill, Cornell?
Uh, it, it's something that's gonna stay with you the rest of your life. Am I muted? No, I ain't
Nah, nah,
muted.
you're not muted, sir. I got what you said though. That's awesome. So you literally basically saying that it's like, can you give the analogy? I guess of cutting hair.
I always do that. Learn how to cut hair. Guess what? You're gonna know how to cut hair the rest of your life. Trading the same way. It's repetition. We use that word all the time. Repetition. It's doing the same thing over and over again. So it's just like you go to your job, same way you get trained on that equipment that you didn't know about, Christian. It's the same thing with trading. You got to get trained on the system, and from that point on, you should be making money. That's the bottom line. That's how simple it is.
Hmm. He said that's how simple it is. All right. So,
You know the problem? Like I know the problem. A lot of people they hear this, but they really don't hear it. They ain't being real with themselves.
well, they're not being real. What makes it so hard though? What do you think makes it so unbelievable?
The money part of it. You not believing that you can make that type of money. So when you get to hearing people talk about that type of money, you think they crazy.
I gotta. Can I be honest? Do you think it's something that they, as soon as they see it, they know that they might have to be someone different than who they currently are?
That could be.
They know they're gonna have to pony up, and now it's all on them. Why? Because it's a money game. Correct?
It's a money
It's the
game.
closest thing you can get to it. You don't need to ask anybody for anything now. You get on the computer, you plug in a chip, you're in the Bloomberg account, and you're doing for yourself. So when you talk about doing for yourself, let's talk about doing for yourself. When you talk about doing for yourself, talk about the work that it involves with the trading. What's the work for the study? What's the work for your mindset, which is your attitude?
Tell how it told me when I first started. This is not something you just pick up on the weekend. You gotta look at it every day. It ain't that you force on people. So, you see, I do classes, that be by request, not me doing like what your network marketing gonna do and have 10 calls a day trying to recruit people. Trading ain't for everybody. It's got to be something that a person wants to do.
How bad do you think they gotta want it though? Like how bad did you want it compared to the people that you see don't really get it? They're not investing
I
in their
see,
education.
when somebody tell me if I learn this, I ain't gotta never worry about no money the rest of my life. And then they showed it to me in a live person. And I'm looking like, oh, this is it. If I learn this, it definitely gonna change.
What about the new trader knowledge that we came across when you saw that? What do you, when you as you okay? Let's just say the first night you're looking at it on your own at night after I told you about it. What are you thinking when you're looking at this website and you're watching videos or after the first night? Like, what were your thoughts before you went to bed that night?
You can get deep into it and as in depth as you want in the trade to really secure the different lifestyle. Like stuff I'm looking at now, totally different than what we look at a chart and look at it right now. It's showing you exactly what the big dog's doing.
So you said it's a lifestyle change.
Pretty much, like I said, you're going from amateur to rookie to all star. It's like the video game y'all be playing to legendary status.
Yeah, it's a legendary status. Okay. Now,
So, so right now we all stars. Now you get into the new information, you're a legend. Like seriously, you're a legend. You're a Robert Smith. If y'all know who Robert Smith is, just look it up. I ain't gonna even tell
right.
you.
And it's interesting that people don't know that, man. It's like it's just interesting, man. You hope the best for people that they get it, but
You
I
open
don't
the
know.
best, but like you said, at the end of the day, you know, just like I know, it still falls on the individual to get it done. Bottom line, do you want it, Christian, or you don't want it? Am I gonna call you every day? No. You got to want something for your own family.
Right.
I'm gonna make sure my family eat. I mean, I got to put in extra study hours. If somebody sitting here telling me, especially with the pandemic going on, that I will be still making money the whole entire time while do y'all understand that we trade? We making money the whole entire time. This pandemic, the protests, and everything else going on. Right? Somebody sitting on and let's think about if you one of those people that your job and hand on back up or call you back or they already laid you off. This guy sitting here literally right now on Trust Christian
Uh,
telling me he been making money the whole time and making it at a higher and quicker level than he would normally make it.
yeah, and it's interesting. Yeah, like, but this is what the elders, the senior mentors have prepared us for. The guys that we listen to when it comes to just being in a business environment, keeping our ear to the street. When you hear the Jamal King say, "Hey, I make more money when the market is going down than when it's going up," because my greatest opportunities are found. But at the same time, I'm already in a strategic position because I have property already. And, it's beautiful to hear that, man. It really is to hear that when you're in that position, it finally can come true for you.
And you got to get around good mentors. Like I've been wanting to do real estate. Guess what? It's probably the same way y'all looked at trade. I'll be honest with myself. I was procrastinating. Yeah, I'm just gonna buy me a couple houses, flip them. But there's more to it. Now you see, like, oh man, you know what? One thing I learned about the private, I was talking to somebody. Everything is based off generational wealth and family prosperity. It ain't even really based off the money.
Right.
The system, you know, you in the system is set up to distribute generational wealth.
Right.
So they creating. We not creating anything. We sitting there, we happy because we making 80 to $100,000 a year at somebody else's company that may close the doors.
They might be closing them right now.
And a lot of them closing them right now. And a lot of y'all ain't thought about it yet. Like, dang, I still, what you gonna do? Oh man, I'm cool. I got 80 to $100,000 saved up. You know how many phone calls I have gotten from people that get laid off that have 80 to $100,000 saved up, Christian, and then later on they trying to be so picky about getting another job, don't realize that by the eighth, ninth month that they pretty much done ran through, they had 80, they down to 15, 20,000. Because guess what, Christian, that money ain't growing. In the private world, we got to grow money. It's
Right.
what
You got to grow
trustees
it.
do. You got to keep growing the assets.
Right.
Money sitting in the bank, not getting no interest or anything is not going to help you. But that's something you learn on the private side. So your thinking pattern should be different. Like right now, the pandemic going on, this is how wealthy people are thinking. You know what I'm doing? Because I'm in position. I'm waiting on the real estate to own back up.
Right.
Well, Cornell ain't got the money. Guess what? It's other ways around it.
It is. It definitely is.
Guess what? The money I had in my bank account helped me to go get some OPM, other people money to do the real estate. So I ain't even got to use my money. That's how a private individual think that's going somewhere.
Right.
They approach, they ain't just buying stocks. Let's go look at the company, Chris. Okay, what this company bring? We ain't on fast. You don't see Warren Buffett talking about fast. Every 20 to 30 years, people still making money out the same thing. Real estate, stock market.
Yeah.
They don't change, Chris.
Oh yeah. Nah, you
Real
don't.
estate, stock market. But they don't just make money. This one, like I said, I always tell you, the rich get wealthy. And somebody like me, I can get rich. Meaning the next step is wealthy.
Right. So, what do you think about the knowledge that in the 4.0 revolution, what are some of the things to be studying? If trading is not for you, what or maybe it is another alternative? You know, you want to give people an alternative. You don't want to leave them up the creek without a paddle.
Investing in yourself, get something started to where you ain't just solely dependent on somebody. Then once you get that started, you like I said, you see how I do. I pivot to another stream of income, then to another stream of income. But here's the good thing about trading. Why I talk about it so much. This the money system, Christian. We can go ahead and make whatever we need. But how is it not something to look into when whether I go create something else or not? I just created generational wealth off the market alone. But guess what? I still can go now. I can go do investment like they should be done, not with a little bit of money trying to get rich quick, real quick.
Right.
Now I got the money to go take a real investment. But now instead of just buying a house, I might own the building downtown somewhere
Right.
during this pandemic while they losing it. It
It's
give me those
interesting. You know what's
opportunities.
crazy? And those type of steals are going to happen. Someone
They
has
finna
a
happen.
huge office building and they're gonna sell it. Why? At this point, they don't even care. It might be an older person. It might be in someone's
It's a
portfolio.
perfect example. Like when I tell you about the building, Alabama. This is a perfect example, people. Somebody had a commercial building in a personal name. The pandemic hit with the corona, the other investments was done. Only asset they had left was the commercial building. But not being set up the proper way, guess what? That asset is up, Christian. The bank sees that you default on everything else. Now you miss one or two payments on this, they take the building from you. But here's the case, people. It was a building close to downtown worth 700,000. The bank not gonna upcharge you. They want it off the books. Guy probably owed 200 some thousand on them. The building was cash flowing $100,000. But because he wasn't learning the proper system when he was trying to invest in himself, he lost it. Now, guess what? Somebody can go get $500,000 for equity, Christian, and they already cash flowing 100,000 every year. That's the type of deals that's going to go on right now.
Right. That's so true. You know, we definitely see people having fire sales already in businesses. We've already seen, businesses say, closing out sale, things of that nature, whether that's for big Fortune 500 or even mom and pop.
And a lot of them ain't coming back. They let you know we're not coming back. We can't sustain. We didn't plan. We didn't know it was gonna take this long, Chris. Now they talking about a second wave. If it's a second wave, oh man, it's
Oh,
gonna get
man.
it's gonna get crucial around here.
Crucial. It's crunch time. So, okay, let's just say it's crucial
I'll put it
in.
like this: it's gonna get crucial for the working class,
Right. So,
not
in
the private
this.
class.
Okay, so the 4.0 affects the working class negatively.
Never big impact. Now you go from middle to poor.
Oh shoot, dang, you went there. Oh wow. Hey, hopefully you on the opposite end of the middle. There you go in
Hopefully
the
you don't.
middle, the
Hopefully,
rich.
hopefully you middle class and you invested in yourself. You might wind like we talking about. You might wind up with golden opportunities that will make you rich.
First of all, they gotta make you rich. If you stand in the middle, there
Exactly.
is no middle. The middle's leaving. That's
Middle
that.
leaving. There
That's
you
the
go.
point of this jump.
You gotta go uphill or you gotta go downhill. Which
We
one you
all
want?
know which way shit rolls. Ain't that the favorite saying? You know which way it rolls, ladies and gentlemen. So that's where we are. Are we seeing the beginnings of automation and pretty much a different type of job market? As much as the states are going to keep reporting jobs, that's going to continue to be a all-time high for unemployment, continue consecutive, month after month over month. They're almost looking at almost an artificial depression. Do you not see that, Cornell, or do you feel like these things are arbitrary to throw out there based off of the technical term? The technical term will all tell true, and the reason how can they say depression status when that they have all-time highs on their market right now. And their markets, they're looking at highs, not they're not even looking at half markets, which would allude to the
They,
fact
like
they're not
I
even
said,
looking at a two. They're not even looking at a 2% dip. The dip was extreme. The states are seeming to be out of it, as they would like to say. But when you look at it from a macro economic standpoint, and this is where knowledge is key. What do you say from a macro perspective, as far as those jobs not being completely tallied in properly, or tallied in at all, or just in general where the market is at with that macro perspective?
with them not being talented, it showed that there was a recession that didn't show up, and because like that, from a macro side of business, you understand that these people manipulated so much they understood that even if the number was wrong, Christian, that it can't be changed.
Uh, right. That's the fact. The
So now
fact.
you get, you see what I'm saying? So now you get the wrong effect, which won't catch up till the next month when the next report come out. They didn't care about that factor because they actually made extra money going up. But this is what y'all got to learn. You got to get out of that public side. They made money going up and they made the money going down.
And they gonna make the money going halfway back
They
up,
don't make it exactly.
and they about to make it going back down again, and make it going back up. It's a game that the buying and the selling institutions, that's why we call them
Now, why
institutions.
wouldn't you, why wouldn't you want to learn it?
Because it seems complicated, like you got to sit in front of a computer a lot. You have to be a brainiac. You have to be like a computer whiz. A lot of people like to say they're not computer literate. And but the one thing that you always do is
Guess
you dumb
what?
it down and say,
We're gonna keep making excuses. I'm gonna get that's like my mentor said. We're gonna keep you're gonna keep making the excuse. We don't need to talk. Guess
right.
what? That's when people let you stay in your comfort zone. I ain't got no comfort zone.
Cordell said that publicly. That was a good one right there.
I
That
got no
was a good
comfort
one.
zone.
You gotta definitely break out of those comfort zone things, man.
What
And
that's what it leads to. Like I said, we're going from amateur to rookie
yeah,
to all star
yeah.
to legendary. We passed amateur and rookie. Meaning all star, we doing good in the market. We living better than most pilots right now.
We're not at the poverty level. The
We
poverty
ain't at the
level,
poverty level.
the poverty level.
We
Let's
made
go.
our decision in the middle to keep going up and not let somebody control us and taking us back down. Now that's the sad effect of it. If you really think about it, you want to know what the sad effect of this for people? And I hate it. And I'm glad I seen it early on when I used to work. Somebody else controlling your life, Chris, and
That's a
telling you
fact, broski.
your whole family life.
Yo, bro, they want that. It's like, how do we
Who
get
was
to this point?
y'all? And their decision determines what happened for your family. That ain't happening on my side. That's why I tell people about the real estate. That's why I tell people about the trade and everything. I can't make you do it, but it's gonna come a time when Cornell gonna be legendary. Then he ain't gonna be doing the same stuff anymore. He ain't gonna be easily accessible anymore because we're gonna be doing different things. Now I might be in a third world country somewhere.
You going third world? he talk all that smack. You going third world? And what's interesting is
I'm talking about the visit, but I'm just talking about the habits.
right, right.
Think about it, man. These folks that made $500 Me, Mike, somebody did last night. The billionaires have added an extra $516 billion to their portfolio during the pandemic. It's only been 2 months, y'all. Going on three. These cats, you mean to tell me these cats made a $500 billion? Why I can't do it? You can't get mad at them because you want to know why I can't get mad at them? Because I can do the same thing they doing at my own level, but I know the same thing they know. I can't be mad at them. You know what we can do, Christian? Get ourselves in position. So we are in the 50%. You should be trying to get yourself in your own position. If I'm at 50, I'm trying to go on and keep on peaking to 100. I ain't trying to go back down to 0 to 10, Christian. I got to start over and try it again. Then get to 50 again, and the same thing happens. That's what happens to relax people.
Yeah,
Now you see the
it's
jobs go.
the knee jerk, irking jerk. You keep
That's
going
it.
back and forth. Two steps
Now,
forward, one step back.
now
Two
you
steps forward.
seeing jobs go away that you thought wouldn't go away. Look at Hertz. Hertz went out of business. Hertz car runner, out of all people, went out of business.
Well, remember we talked about this on corporations living paycheck to paycheck. So the
But
poverty line is actually
here's the manipulation. I think we talked about that last time. Hertz goes in, file bankruptcy at the beginning of the pandemic. Guess what? They manipulated the stock market so much, they put the bankruptcy in at this price and it has peaked. So they so slick. This is how businesses show you how they operate. They don't give a care about no bankruptcy. They try to get the court to let them pay their bankruptcy back with the extra money they just made from the stock market.
yeah, the poverty line. Literally, the poverty line says it's $12,000 right now per the Department of Human Services. Literally, say $12,000 each person. So they're giving you $1,000 a month. So let's just say someone gets $500 in food stamps, and then they get every 2 weeks they get a paycheck. So they might be even making $1,500 a month. But that's interesting that they actually are testing that theory out to give a world consensus of how much money it would be able to live with the basic necessities of water, toilet paper, obviously cleaning supplies,
Like that.
basic needs. Quite a few people are going to succumb to the indicators of what they call poverty and hungry situations. And so, but the way that they're going to eradicate this is by giving a universal lifestyle to give an immediate basic needs, such as they already have developed a eight basic needs list, which is safe drinking water, sanitation facilities, which is toilets and toilets, or latrines, which are things that you can go near the home. Health, excuse me, treatment must be received for serious illness and pregnancy. Shelter, homes must have fewer than four people in each home. Floors must not be made of soil, mud, or clay. Education, everyone must attend school, otherwise learn to read. um, Information. Everybody must have access to newspapers, radios, television, computers, telephones at home. So these are once again what they call basic needs list per the Department of Human Services, and access to services. This item is undefined by the people that have created with this list, but normally it indicate complete some type of education, health, legal, social, or financial credit services. They want to have people to have access to these services. So it's almost like if you had service to access to financial education now. Even on this list right here, education says everyone must attend school. So they're not saying that you are going to be wealthy. They're saying you got to attend school. They're not saying that you're going to get a good education. They just say you must attend school. These are the things that we're talking about in the 4.0 revolution that especially on the industrial side, the jobs are changing. Why? Because these basic needs are now being provided to a group of people that are okay with just filing and going into that system.
Yeah.
And it's crazy. Like, Cornell, think about that. How you have to have the eye of the tiger in order to actually get through this moment. This is a moment where people are taking a real mental pounding. We've had people come to us, even in the private, and say, "Oh, we're depressed." Now we haven't had people in the private say that, but Cornell and us, we're in the private, so we hear people come from the public and say, "We're depressed. This is a hard time for us, Cornell. We know we're barely making it through it." And it's like, well, what do you expect to have happen? Are you are
Yeah.
you are you waiting for someone to fly out of the sky and just turn on your initiative or your motivation to learn something else? Not just to sit at home and eat brunch and eat, with your family every day, which is a blessing, but to actually be productive from 9 to 5. This is a great time for people to build 9 to 5s in their homes. You don't want to leave the house to do a 9 to 5? Build a 9 to 5 in your house. There are so many people that are looking to build 9 to 5 home businesses outside of their home. I mean, outside of their job, and now they have it. And this is a moment right now, Cornell, where we're starting to see we saw the men separated from the boys a long time ago in our lives. But this is even more of a moment where the men are separated from the boys in business. And it requires us to think, to grow. As you can hear, we've heard more people try to invest in their private education right now because they understand the importance of it. Cornell has done webinars almost every month this year because people see the value of, okay, I'm waking up to the fact that I need to get a different education. This isn't even expensive. It's not charging me out of the craziness. It's not putting me in $60,000 to $80,000 worth of student loans. We see this across the board. We see this across the board. And Cornell, you've left industries. So why is it so hard for someone to say they are going to pivot right now into something completely different? Jump naked into the water. Go skinny dipping into the water real quick, Cornell. They're going to go skinny dipping into the trading. Now, this is something that they can lose their shorts. They're already jumping in with no clothes on. So how is this something that turns the boys into men? Why wouldn't it do that, ladies and gentlemen? You get back in a position where you want to be. You're back in a position of control. Own nothing, control everything. See, a lot of the brothers and sisters, they fell a prey and fell astray and fell weak to the policies that are being put in place. Oh, wow. Well, that's what the government's doing. So I'm going to just wait for them to finish their whole plot here. Ladies and gentlemen, the sun is coming up and the moon is coming up and the sun is going down and the moon's coming down. There are some things that are still going on, and your heart's still beating. So, regardless of what the government's doing, that doesn't stop a person from using their mind to think outside the box to create new revolutionary ideas for the industrial revolution that's going on right now, 4.0. And you know what's crazy, Cornell? Here we go. Let's go ahead and talk with the cynical talk. Oh no, man, that trading stuff, the stock market gonna crash, man. It's gonna be a one world currency, and ain't gonna be no United States dollar. The dollar's trash. It's going down the tubes, and ain't gonna be no stock market, and they about to take that out. It's gonna be the one world currency. We're gonna see Bitcoin, but we'll leave the cryptos out of it. That's a far fetched idea. Let's go to where you are with the dollar in respect to other currencies, the validity of currencies. People don't even know about the SDRs. People don't even know about the IMF and what an SDR is. But they want to sit here and talk about a one world currency. There already is. What would that be, Cornell?
The US dollar.
Go ahead,
So
elaborate on that.
all the conspiracy theory people, go do your research. Richard Nixon missed the dollar a long time ago. The US has some smart individuals. Yeah, history lesson because I just got the history lesson. And I trade. That's what I like about it. But it gave a broad perspective to let you know that when they show you how we trillions of dollars in debt, we really don't care because the dollar is used across the world. The reason we go into countries for the resources If we control the resources and we borrow money against the Christian, we ain't got to pay the money back. It's a win-win. So we can print as much money as we want. We the only currency in the world that's pretty much unified with every country. That's why you saw the pressure when they put the pressure on China, how quickly that changed. That's why the system was put in. That's where forex come in. We control all this.
What do you think about the stories about
Dollar
when
not
Iran
going
did
nowhere.
that? What do you think about the
That's
story when Iran did that? About they had an issue with the dollar. There's a couple countries that are trying to stop people from trading oil in dollars, so that when you come into their country, there are stories where countries are saying, "Look, we'll accept any country's money. Now we're not just going to only
that's
accept
fine,
dollar
but
for
guess
oil."
what? That system was put in play a long time ago.
Right.
Yep, yeah, Christian can be in Great Britain and pay with the yen, but when it all comes down to it, you don't need that US dollar.
You need a U.S. dollar.
You're gonna need that US dollar. So think about even when you seen Iraq when they went and got Saddam Hussein, look at how much American money he had in his walls.
Right.
Now you can pull that dollar, think about it, you can pull that dollar out in anywhere, any country, they're gonna take it. You might not be able to take them dinars or or that peso to Great Britain.
That's where we are, man. Where people don't really recognize just the power of the
People just
currencies.
keep
I
talking
think people
crazy.
are. I think they're PO'd about the fact of the fiat and how they've been exposed. How the fiat has been exposed. The paper has been exposed. There's a new undertone of leaving paper and even wanting to go Industrial Revolution 4.0 digital currency, anyways. So definitely highlight what's your thoughts on crypto because so many people are still always conflicted. I know so many people come out and ask about this crypto and deals, and so just let's share your thoughts on crypto.
Crypto.
Yeah.
I ain't paying no attention to it no more, man.
Well, the crypto thing actually has is still making headways because of the blockchain technology. So it's not necessarily the coins that are the thing that people are really investing technology and money into.
It's the
What they're investing
problem.
into is that ledgering, that accounting ledgering system.
It's the problem with crypto though. What we just explained. The government is not with the system.
Right,
You still gonna have to get a US dollar out of that crypto somewhere.
right,
So it's never gonna make the steam that people think it's gonna make. It'll be a reserve like gold. That's all I can see it being, ever being.
you
I
said
can
as a
see it
reserve.
as a reserve. Like this is what people do in the market bag. They buy gold. They buy, like I said, natural resources. They hold value. That's what they do.
Right, and everybody.
Bitcoin, if they can get everybody on the same page, it will be a reserve. Well, if the market going bad, people go stick their money over in Bitcoin.
And see, that's where we're getting to this term called shareholder capitalism. And Industrial Revolution says capitalism has failed, Cornell. This is what Ray Dalio is saying right now. This is what, as much as we appreciate this gentleman for his business acumen to manage a fund of billions of dollars, obviously that's reported, that's, on record. But to say capitalism has failed is where the Industrial Revolution 4.0 comes in because there's a look at it now from the term of shareholder capitalism, Cornell, where they want to have these basket currencies or these currencies be weighed again. They're saying, oh, we don't want currencies to be floating. We want them to be pegged. Do you see the people wanting them to be pegged towards gold, or do you see the government saying, let's keep them floating? And that's how we're able to keep doing multiple quantitative easing, multiple stimulus packs, because now we're not restricted by our resources. We can just print because we understand that paper is what people want. They don't want the resource or the asset ever. They really want the temporary gratification. And that's why taxes are so high. Is because the Industrial Revolution is having to be funded right now. Where are they putting street cameras up? What else are they putting up, Cornell? That's an industrial. They're trying to get the roadways to be prepared for automated cars. They have to clean. They have to do work on the roadways so the cars don't get messed up if they're going to be automated. These are basic things that you can see. Okay, there are industrial things that are going to be worked on. So when you hear Trump say, hey, I want to make sure that we're working on infrastructure is dealing with the roadways to be able to be prepared for automated vehicles. And we're talking about big 18 wheel vehicles too, not just your everyday driving around Tesla regular car. We're talking about long 18 wheelers. So industrial revolution is a whole nother ball game when we talk about it, and when we talk about it from the perspective of even you saying, well, investing in yourself, Cornell, it was so wild when we called shots last year. We called shots walking into this year, 2020, to walk into 2020 and say, wow, we're Industrial Revolution 4.0. We're just getting the swing of this thing. This thing is just getting started, but it's been going for a while. We are at the beginning of, if the revolution is at 4.0 already, right now, we have the only opportunity that is going to come to us in the next 20 years. In between 2020, 2040, and 2050, we're going to see technological advances that will make the last 20 years look like they were nothing. And what have we seen in the revolution of the past 20 years? You know what I mean? And when you even look at, what we do, Cornell, for the marketplace literally has just changed for the WeWorks. We just saw WeWorks pop up. WeWorks may change forever. Or large businesses that are going into big box places, they may say, look, we need less employees, so we're gonna go to less space now.
Yeah.
Wonder where the business market goes. The business market is gonna go to more migrant workers. We're gonna see a different transition in the states from what do you say?
Very, I'll be very, very interested on that business market coming back around. People don't understand that
Which market?
the business market,
Oh yeah, the business market. The business market's changed forever, man.
like down here in certain, even in certain states, like y'all don't understand how bad your economy is right now. Like you got people losing prime real estate right now.
Prime real estate. Now, I was just pointing that out to somebody earlier. When you're riding on one of the main streets in your city and you have the opportunity to get somebody that's closing up shop right now, this is prime opportunity. Now, this is maybe not even the time to buy. This is the time to go by and pay them a visit and see how well they're doing through this situation.
This is when you get rich. I had a guy contact me in Milwaukee. He owns a building downtown Milwaukee. Most cities are rebuilding they downtown. The man is saying, "Hey, get the building paid for." He taking anything right now. He needs cash. That's the type of thing right now.
That's a fire sale desperation line. He said, I need cash.
On the fire said he need cash. He need to liquidate.
And that's why, what's the name, as you can see, Warren Buffett got liquid real quick.
Got liquid real quick.
And this is where we go back to where savers are losers. So, Cornell, could you talk about that? Like, maybe we didn't emphasize that enough on this episode of how saving doesn't help you in the Industrial Revolution.
You losing because your money ain't growing. So we just gonna keep this simple for you. So what that means is you got the $100,000 job, and I like talking to those people because y'all are the most confident and cocky people sometimes. Guess what? I have made the hundred some $1,000. It ain't all peaches and cream and glory like everybody think it is when you got a family and
Hey,
you like nice things.
we got a good one for you. We got a guy that called us, right? He said, look, the police officers in New York make $150,000. Okay, so go ahead. We want to go ahead and tell you. He wanted to brag about how much their social workers in their area make. So everybody's supposed to be living high on the hog in New York, but we're gonna go ahead and go with this philosophy of 100K, and that the police officers in New York are making over 80 to 100K because of the area being so pricey. Continue.
But that's so the people ain't educated. You would understand that 80 to $100,000 in New York is no money.
Right.
That's the equivalent to making $30,000 $40,000 a year. That's why they still do the same stuff that they do now. That's the equivalent, like 150 in New York. It's just like $50,000. Everything is super expensive in New York. People don't think about that when they say that. It sounds good, but no, he's not seeing 150 when he work, Chris. That's what education. That's what I said. You got to learn about this. You can't just listen to us. You got to pick it up and learn it.
So Industrial Revolution says you got to learn something new. Right now, this is an educational period. So people have inquired about the education. Cornell is actually doing a trading class on the 28th of June. So it's about a few weeks. I think it's about what 500
What's about 500?
the webinar.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, right. So you all know that now, and you all can contact him. You can feel free to reach out, Christian at trustchristian.com. We'll forward you over, Christian at trustchristian.com. Just reach out to us at the vault, Christian at trustchristian.com once again. And so, we definitely appreciate you all for tuning live or listening to replay. This is once again an episode 200, Industrial Revolution 4.0. We could talk about so many more different things about the times. That's why we appreciate Cornell.
And I'm this one thing, like even with the protest, this is what y'all got to start to realize. What the protest did was show you how much in the culture that we don't even believe in ourselves.
Facts.
Because all black businesses are booming now because the spotlight was put on them. You know what they let me know? Everybody was in their comfort zone before this. Hey, Chris, I'm gonna get mine. I don't care if you get yours. So when y'all go back and look at Black Wall Street, y'all first of all, I don't even think my people even know about Black Wall Street. I want y'all to Google it. Tulsa, Oklahoma, Black Wall Street was a black thriving area. Guess what? They didn't want to stay with us, Christian. We went out and made our own area. I'm gonna tell y'all the significance of this. This is why you can't let the pandemic and the protests block you. These people was built this area at a time when things like this was going on.
Yeah, we've seen actually 100-acre plots actually right now coming up for grabs all over in Georgia and all over, man. 60-acre, 70-acre plots popping up all over. They're popping up. Cities are actually being sold right now. Some people, obviously municipalities are just trying to sell off their position, but quite a few people are selling off their positions in these municipalities and corporate areas. So if the area was unincorporated and now they need another buyer to develop the land and develop the city, there's massive opportunity there, ladies and gentlemen. We have massive opportunity to develop in new areas, and that does involve moving. So, Industrial Revolution 4.0 involves that. There you go. So you say, Cornell said you got to get into the knowledge, Black Wall Street. You got to make sure that you know that. And obviously, they were booming, obviously, at a time that most people would say through the 1920s. You know.
Now, now you want to support your people business. We should have been doing it all along. Then you'll find out back then when this was going on, those people was in such a good position. Racism was going on then. Then white people was coming to ask them for borrowing money. And it got so bad, the hatred kicked in so bad, they burnt it down. We were striving. We didn't have to go on their side and get anything. You had your local dentist, Christian. You had your local everything. Black money flowing. These people were millionaires back then, and they
And
burned down. But it show you what's going on now. Everybody, oh yeah, man, black business. Yeah, black business is booming right now. Guess what? You should take that to your advantage right now. That man, you could wind up getting to the rich or wealthy side. But who's just chasing the money, Christian, and who's building generational wealth? That's gonna be the main answer.
That's what we're gonna name the episode tonight and come back and talk about. We're gonna wrap up here in another 6 minutes because I gotta do another project. But I can tell you right now, we're definitely gonna do the episode tonight about generational wealth because we don't speak about that enough, Cornell.
Yeah, I only think people know what generational wealth is.
We just gotta talk about it because it's like, oh damn, because even when you said that, like you said, people think that the trust system is about the money. But when we got that phone call earlier from a trustee, and they said they want they well, look, these people were enrolled, the husband and wife, and their daughter and son were around, but they weren't into it. Their daughter is now finally asking questions. Why? Maybe she heard something about trust. Maybe she heard something, in the pandemic, they're talking about Booker T. Washington. Maybe they're talking about some of the old A.G. Gastings and talking about true wealth black creators that literally say we can dominate in the Industrial Revolution 4.0 because we're already in control of $1.3 trillion spending habits every single year. And we can have that tracked by Thomson and Reuters and now go look at the industries that are being targeted to those group of people. And education is not one of them. So we can go back in and re-educate the group of people through the Industrial Revolution 4.0, and it's focused on generational wealth. They get back to family oriented principles, not principles of go out to the big city, leave your family because you have a degree and you're going to be working on Wall Street. Well, guess what? Wall Street's working from home now. So, no, the kids don't need to leave home. They can stay home and make the money. There are some kids making more money playing video games than their parents that went to school and got a $60,000 to $80,000 degree. Period. Teenagers, kids, the parents already got money to give them the internet to play the little Xbox or video game. They already got the money for it. And the kids are making money playing video games online or whatever else they're doing. And so Industrial Revolution 4.0 looks like that. Think about it. Everybody thought they got a deal when, oh, make my kid play a sport. We're going to show you how generational wealth is about to drastically change with those video games. You haven't seen anything yet with the video games and how much people are willing to pay to even watch someone play a video game. Because it's better to watch the fake fantasy. Think about how big fantasy football is, fantasy sports. You hear those terms, fantasy? That's virtual reality. All they need to do is get the player to act it out now on a little holographic image. We just need the player's holographic image. We got a patent on his moves. He's got a patent move. Everybody knows AI's crossover. Everybody knows the fadeaway jumper by MJ. It's a patent move. So they're gonna patent the move, virtual reality, and you can just think of the move that he was supposed to do there in his virtual reality. And people are willing to pay for that, Cornell.
Yeah, that's a good topic. Generational wealth.
Man, they don't even understand the blood, sweat, and tears that you got to put in generational wealth. Guess what? It's so apropos for the moment because we're going through a revolution right now. The revolution looks like if your business is not pandemic ready, you suck. You got to be pandemic ready. Why? Because they showed this through Ebola. They showed this now with another one. Where are we going with this? Where are you going with this? Are you going to go into a business that literally it may not open up anytime soon? Some businesses they didn't close down. McDonald's didn't close. Huh. McDonald's didn't close. And if you all haven't checked out the movie Founder about Ray Kroc, highly recommend that movie. Saw that one recently. It was hilarious. Probably one of the best CEO movies in a while. This guy was ruthless. To even know that he still paid the McDonald's brothers and that he literally created the fast food revolution.
Yeah, I did watch that.
You watched the Founder? You probably didn't like it, huh? You like it?
Yeah, it was. It was an interesting story about McDonald's.
Yo, your boy was ruthless, man. Remember when he did the handshake deal? It was like this guy was lying through his teeth at one point. He was believing all the juice that he was telling himself. He was sipping a lot of milkshake, man, for sure.
He stole that.
Oh yeah, if you have to call it theft in the revolution nowadays, it's called theft. And guess what? Some people, when we say fire sale, some people are about to get their wealth is about to get stolen in generational wealth. Ladies and gentlemen, this is almost one of those once in a lifetime opportunities. We don't like using those terms over here at the vault. Oh, it's a once in a lifetime opportunity. Ladies and
One
gentlemen,
another 30 years. About 30 years. You can bet that. So what you gonna do?
barbecue or mildew, and
On
it's
the
a
side, or you gonna get in the game?
and when you get in the game, you gotta practice. You gotta practice before you get in the game. We're gonna come back with generational wealth. We gotta practice building generational wealth as a people. People want to depend on the government. That's some people. We know what that philosophy is. We advocate the obviously industrial revolution 4.0 mindset, which still does deal with interdependence. It's where we are able to independently create and still work together satellitely. It doesn't have to be or remotely, we should say, not satellite. This is the worst thing to ever do to create a fake word. Is to work satellite, to still where we can do the podcast and people can get information disseminated through the internet. These are the industries that are changing the world. People aren't even having to go to the store to get food. And a lot of these places are trying to run no delivery charges nowadays. How you going to run no delivery charges? It shows you how much markup they already had on the front end. Or these companies that are literally having their products put onto these third party websites, maybe they're paying marketing dollars to be on there. Who knows? When you learn these companies' business models, such as a Uber Eats or Post-its or Postmates, when you go and look at their business models, their pitch deck, they tell you how they're making money through marketing. Appreciate you all for tuning in live or listening to replay. We're in the Industrial Revolution 4.0. Marketing eyes, getting people, grabbing their attention over the internet through these social websites. These social website stocks should have gone out the roof. We see old money still sitting on the sideline. New money, their stocks have gone up. Amazon went up. All the players that are adapted to the 4.0 Industrial Revolution 4.0 are here. They're giving you free masks at the store. They pivoted so quickly. That's how quick you got to pivot. It's called automation. It's technology. You got to have analytics and data. How many employees can we cut back? What does our budget need to look like? These are all the things that we're going to talk about moving forward with the generational wealth, because it's time to break a curse. Or are you just going to accept defeat? The revolution is about accepting defeat or standing up with your fist in the air with some pride and not standing up like a coward. We'll appreciate you all. Tune in live. Christian at Trust Christian, The Vault, episode 201, Global Reset. Talk to you soon. Peace and blessings.